guys and gals? Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. So if you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Heart of Amethyst, Rodrick's Path. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and just jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up, and let's go. There we go, alright. Sexy time, every time. Okay. Hey, Runt. Got any space left on your side? Are you kidding me? I'm on the edge of the bed. I knew this was a bad idea. Rodrick sighs and then shifts a little more on his side of the bed. Turn around and we can get comfortable together. I'm not hugging you, Runt. Then enjoy your night as it is. Fine. I hear and feel the wolf turning on the bed, taking a few seconds since he's quite heavy. I'm so sorry, Mr. Bed. When he's finally facing me, I feel a huge empty space behind me. So, not wanting to fall off, I move back a little until I'm eventually stopped by Rodrick's belly and hard-as-rock pecs. He also gets comfortable, getting one of his arms under my head and placing the other on top of me, using his hand to hold my chest with an iron grip. Huh. My heart skips a beat as a certain familiar scent hits my nose. The wolf's musk is quite strong since it didn't take a complete bath after we made it back. That musk combined with the vanilla perfume he uses makes my nose go into overdrive mode, making me wish I was turned to the other side so I could smell the fluff on his chest. After a few seconds pass, I decide to place myself a little closer to him, pressing my butt on his belly and my back on his front. His warmth is really cozy, making me feel as if I'm wrapped in a nice blanket. His arm muscles are so firm that I can't help but give them a squeeze as I embrace the wolf. Stay still, damn it! I want to fucking sleep. Sorry, I say, finally noticing how much of a horn dog I am. This is going to be a difficult night. Hope I get some sleep at least. As expected, I didn't get much sleep. I swear I tried, but my brain was restless. I've been awake for at least 3 hours by now. Could be more, could be less, but I'm not too sure, myself. Haven't been keeping count. Point is, I just couldn't sleep. Too many things in my head, I guess. So here I am, all alone in the middle of the night, staring at the diary Mr. Biscotti left me, with nothing but a candle to light the room. I keep my eyes on the book, inspecting it as best I can with the amount of light that I have. The leather feels good against my paws. It's certainly not the cheap kind. The pages are also of a great quality, thick and won't rip easily, at least as far as I can tell. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on diaries or whatever. I just think this is too much. I mean, how much did he even pay for this? He should have used that money for something more important. I don't deserve this anyway. I sigh and then place the book back on the table, scratching my head as I try to feel some sort of comfort. Right under my left ear, the secret spot in which I've always loved to be scratched at. Doing it by myself feels a little lame, but it reminds me of my mom, so I do it when I'm feeling lonely or sad. I need to pull it together, I say, trying to calm my nerves. After all, I can't break down now. Tomorrow is a very important day, and I need to be ready. I don't feel like sleeping, though. To be honest, I'm more awake than ever. Perhaps I should stop moping around and do something useful for a change. At least I think that's what Mr. Biscotti would say. I guess it's only you and me, buddy, I say as I lift the book and open it. I write my name in the first diary page and then rip it off. Then I place it in a little pocket the diary as a way of marking it as mine. Guess I could also pee on it, but I'm not that kind of canine. Anyway, time to get creative. The codex has been added. Okay. The next morning, a ray of light wakes me up from my sleep. It's coming from the window on the top of my bed. As I open my eyes, I notice the wooden ceiling of the room. I stretch my body, feeling a little sore after falling asleep on the table last night. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking when... Wait a minute. I was in the main hall last night, so then... How the fuck did I end up here? As I stand up from the bed with a jump, feeling weird about just being here. Think, Ehlly, think! Did I walk back up? Perhaps I sleepwalked. I've heard some people do that when they lose their minds. I might actually be losing it, all things considered. Fuck, am I? As the morning drowsiness starts to vanish, my thoughts begin to settle and my mindset changes from stupid to less stupid. That's when I notice the absence of a certain wolf, who should be here since he was supposedly slept here last night. 1 second, y'all. I think it is time for water. I'm going to be... Oh, there you go. Oh, man. That's good stuff. Okay. Alrighty. That's when I noticed the absence of a certain... Okay, I already did that. Yep. Okay. Could it be that he carried me all the way back? Dang it, that should be so embarrassing, but it's the only logical explanation. Because I doubt any of the other guests would even have the key to open this room. Fuck, why didn't he wake me up? Now he's gonna think I'm a useless pup. As if he needs another reason to think that. As my mind tries to come up with an excuse to tell the wolf, I notice a piece of paper laying on top of the desk. As I inspect it, I notice it was probably written in a hurry, since the handwriting looks awful. Runt, went to the harbor. Don't follow me and go do something useful with your morning. The short note doesn't tell me much, but at least I know where Rodrick is. I wonder what reason he could probably have to go to a place like that, and why he wouldn't want to be followed. Besides, I thought the king had arranged so we would be free today. Yeah, if he didn't want to be followed, why the fuck did he tell you where he was going? Then why? Could it be a juicy secret? Suddenly, the idea of Rodrick doing something naughty fills me with glee. He's always been so uptight about rules and whatnot, that this is like finding a three-legged chicken. My mind immediately jumps to all the possibilities since I hardly know a thing about him. Maybe he's the leader of a contraband gang. He's been keeping it a secret as he acts like the good old captain of the Royal Knights. Or perhaps he's got a secret lover and he's planning to run away with her on a boat. Yeah, I decide that I must find out if any of my assumptions are correct. So dressing up as fast as I can, I set forward to my new adventure. What a wonderful idea I just had. I'll do exactly the opposite of what he asked me to do. What could go wrong? You're being stupid. The docks look and smell just as I remember them. Fishy. A bunch of illegal activities are conducted in this area. There are as many thieves as there are clouds in the sky, so each merchant has to be really careful with their goods. Also, half of these boats are pirates who bring their contraband from other parts of the world. You can also see many whores running around as well, trying to lure new and old clients into their business. There are at least 5 or 6 whorehouses in this area. But the worst criminals of them all are the knights themselves. They intimidate the merchants into paying ridiculous fees that they're not obligated to pay. Besides, if someone speaks up or tries to defend themselves, they'll use force without doubting it. Yes, this is the environment in which I spent most of my teenage years back in the day. I can't even remember how many times we got chased by the guards after messing up with them. We used to throw horse poop to their heads, and sometimes we even hit them on the back of the knee as we passed them running. Like, I'm not proud of stealing from others, but being able to mess with the knights was the only fun part of being in that gang. That being said, I haven't seen Rodrick even once. I've been looking for at least an hour. Makes me wonder if he's been slacking off on the job, or if he's even here at all. As I continue walking, I decide to browse some of the shops. Sometimes you can find real gold in here. Like that one time I bought a magical monkey hand that grants wishes. I mean, I'm still waiting for my wish to come true, but I have faith. I know I'll grow taller one of these days. Him! It was him! Go after him! Oh, wow, that sounds like someone's in trouble. Got you now, you little rat! Before I could acknowledge what was happening, I suddenly feel the floor on my feet. I can't feel the floor on my feet anymore. A strong force picked me up by the scruff and it's holding me up. Although that voice, I would recognize it anywhere. The situation actually brings back some memories. Runt, what do you think you're doing? You know, I could ask you the same. Please put me down, you're embarrassing me. The wolf grunts, but thankfully he does as I say, safely placing me back on the ground. I clean the non-existent dust out of my shoulder and adjust my cloak. That's when I notice all the eyes locked on us. Ooh. No, 1 second. Okay. I blush deeply after the humiliation that I've been put through, but decide to swallow it and decide to say nothing to the wolf. 1 second, y'all. Water time. That's the stuff. Okay. For the sake of not making a bigger scene... Did you catch him? Does he have it? A tiger comes running and catches up to us, but seems to be out of breath as he takes a moment to calm himself. I look back at Rodrick, who just has his signature annoyed expression on his face. Directed to me, of course. Let's just go back to your boat for now, shall we? Huh. Ah, I see. So you know this person. That is correct. He can't be the thief. Heh, not the first time someone has accused me of something like that. Although this time it feels more out of the blue. I wonder what happened. Maybe it was another white fox? As I continue talking, I just stay by the sidelines listening to what they're saying. As far as I've gathered, this tiger guy, whose name is foreign and confusing, sells paintings. I mean, his name is... Atakuchi? That's just a mouthful. Atakuchi. Well, anyway, back to the point. It seems like his most expensive painting got stolen by some burglars. And Rodrick's been here all morning trying to help him. Please give me a second now, sir. I must talk to my companion. Rodrick fakes a smile and then turns his back to the tiger, making us walk a bit further away from him. The wolf crosses his arms and then looks at me with a severe expression. "Why the fuck are you here?" he says as he tries to keep his voice low, although he's clearly annoyed. "I just wanted to know what you were up to." "That's nice and all, Runt, but didn't I tell you you specifically not to come?" "Yeah, but that only made me more worried." My explanation clearly didn't convince him at all, since he's watching me with the most cynical expression possible. "So, anyway, what's the deal with this guy? Why did you have to come here personally? I thought the king gave you the day off." "He did, but this came out of nowhere. Besides, the guy back there is kind of a big deal. The prince himself hired him to make a painting." "A well-known artist?" "Apparently." "I personally don't see it, but that's not for me to decide." "Yes, the one the prince had asked for." "Dang, that's unlucky." The wolf sighs as he rubs his temples. He clearly seems irritated by this whole matter. I wonder if it's because they made him work on his free day. "Well, since you're already here, might as well make yourself useful. Keep an eye out for this cat. Just convince him to stop following me around. It's annoying." "What? How will I convince him?" "Well, I figured that since you never shut your mouth, you would be good with your words." "Hey, that's not very nice of you." I cross my arms and look at him with an annoyed expression, to which he responds with a smirk. A smirk that disappears quickly as we hear the tiger talking. "Excuse me, sir, are you two done?" The tiger seems a little nervous. He's rubbing his paws against the other. He's rubbing his paws one against the other, and his tail is twitching from side to side. I mean, I would probably be nervous too if I didn't just get the work of my life stolen. "Keep him here. I'm off." Oop. The wolf whispers before patting my back and walking off. The tiger man tries to follow him, but I stop him with one of my paws. "How about we wait for him here, sir? I'll keep you company." "But what if he needs my help?" "Rodrick will be fine on his own, sir. I assure you he's the most competent knight for the job. He's a captain, after all. Shall we sit?" The tiger looks anxious, but I try to be as reassuring as I can. Eventually, he gives up his idea to follow behind the wolf and goes to sit with me. It just took me like 10 seconds to convince him. Luckily, Rodrick is not a church social worker. He would starve. Anyway, taking the merchant back to his shop, I managed to notice some things about him. He's obviously a tiger, given all the stripes on his body. Second, y'all. Yeah, I think it is water time. Yep. Okay. He's obviously a tiger, given all the stripes on his body. Although, I hope I'm not just assuming. I haven't seen that many felines. But that's not the only thing that caught my attention. His way of dressing is also very interesting. It just looks very expensive and uncomfortable. The adjectives that are normally used to refer to the noble's clothing. So this guy must be a really big deal. He doesn't behave like a noble at all, though. There's not that annoying noble-like aura around him, which makes me wonder if he became rich or if he was born into it. That doesn't matter much now, does it? I wonder if Rodrick will be able to retrieve that painting. I wish I could help. Now that I think about it, since we're not doing much, I could ask him directly what happened. I know my way around this area, so perhaps I can be of some assistance. Yeah, let's give it a try. So, Mr. Atakuchi. The tiger looks at me with a nervous expression. Actually, it's Atochi. Atochi. The tiger says with a kind smile on his face, probably used to people mispronouncing his name. Ah, sorry, Sir Atochi. Atochi. Mind if I ask you a few questions? Oh, am I in trouble? The tiger rubs his paws again, clearly worried that he made some sort of mistake. I mean, I can understand him to some degree. Being a foreign citizen, being in a foreign nation must be stressful, especially one like ours. Even if we have a decent relationship with the cats, us canines can be quite intimidating at times. No, I just want to ask you about what happened. Okay. Huh, that was easier than I thought. What should I ask him? Ask about... Everyone ask all of the questions. Every last fucking question shall be asked. Ask about the painting. So, about the painting, what does it look like? Oh, well, it's just a simple painting of Mount Goro. Mount Goro? It's the highest mountain on our island. It's beautiful, really. A wide peak that makes a perfect contrast with the green trees that grow on its feet. One magnificent art of nature that I humbly tried to recreate in that painting. That's odd. Why would the Prince of the Canine Kingdom want the painting of a mountain only found in Thanea? Could it be a political move? Maybe he's trying to express his admiration for the feline culture by acquiring such a piece of art. Personally, I think it's a good move. Having a good political relationship with the feline nation could bring good things. About what happened. Where were you when the theft took place? I was here on this same spot in this same post. The painting was laying there with the others. With the others? I thought it was an important painting, so why not place it in a safer spot? Well, I had been told about the dangers of this area, so I thought that if a product stood out above the others, it would be easier for the thieves to pinpoint which to steal. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Burglars tend to analyze their prey before attacking. They check if the merchant takes special care of a certain object, how the merchant behaves, how careful he is with his cargo. Every piece of information is key for any good thief. I would know. So, you said you were here when it happened, but then how did they steal it from in front of you? Oh, that. It's a little embarrassing, honestly. You see, I usually eat my own homemade lunch on my ship, but today I couldn't find any of my packed bentos. So, I couldn't resist the wonderful smell of that stall over there. Alright guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks. If you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!